Hi, and welcome to Grade 6, Lesson 5. Today, we will be finding the area of polygons through decomposition. Decomposition means that we will be breaking apart the large polygon into smaller figures. So let's get started with example 2. Parallelogram A, B, C, D is part of a large solar power collector. The base measures 6 meters and the height is 4 meters. A. Draw a diagonal from A to C and then find the area of the two triangles that you made. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw the diagonal from A to C. And this diagonal cuts the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Congruent means that both triangles are equal. So we also know that in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallel. Parallel means they go to infinity and never touch. And the lengths are equal. So if this length is 6 meters, the top will also be 6 meters. And if the height on this side of the parallelogram is 4, if we do the same thing by constructing a right triangle, then our height will also be 4 on this side. So now we've made two triangles. The first triangle is A, B, C. So this triangle. And the second triangle that we made is A, C, and D. These two triangles are congruent, which simply means they're equal. Now we can find our area of both of these triangles. So let's do triangle ABC first. So the triangle ABC, our formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So then the area would be 1/2. The base is 6. My height is 4. So then my area would be 1/2. 6 times 4 is 24. So when I go to multiply, I would have 1 times 24, and 2 times 1 is 2. And 24 divided by 2 is 12 meters squared. So that is my area for triangle ABC. We are also going to find the area for triangle ACD. And the formula is the same. Area is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. The area is 1/2 the base, which was 6, and the height, which was 4. So when I go ahead and multiply 1/2 times 6 times 4, 6 times 4 is 24. When I do numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, I'm left with 24 divided by 2, which is equal to 12 meters squared. Now we knew that these should have been the same because we said that the parallelogram cuts it into two congruent triangles, which means they were equal. So we knew that the area for those two triangles would have been the same. Now, if we were to go ahead and find the area for our parallelogram, so we're going to do the area of our parallelogram. The area of parallelogram, the formula is base times height. So our area would be our base of 6, our height of 4. So our parallelogram, the area turned out to be 24 meters squared. And if I were to go ahead and add my two triangle areas together, so I would have my total area was 12 meters plus 12 meters. My total area was also 24 meters squared. So by decomposing, meaning breaking this apart, and figuring out the two congruent triangles, we found the total area, which was the same as using the formula for the area of a parallelogram, which was base times height. You'll see that they were exactly the same. All right, let's move on to letter B. Letter B says, draw the other diagonal, this time from B to D, and find the area of both triangles that you form. So I'm going to copy the same picture that we had at the top. We have our parallelogram, and we labeled it A, B, C, and D. When we constructed our right angle here, our height was 4, our length was 6. This time they want us to draw our diagonal from B to D. Okay, so our diagonal cuts our parallelogram again into two congruent triangles. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Now we're going to find the area of triangle. So we're going to find the area for triangle A, B, D. That's this triangle. And then we're going to find the area of the triangle B, C, D. And when we put those two areas together, that will give us the whole area of the parallelogram. So let's do triangle A, B, D. Our formula is 1/2 base times the height. So the area is 1/2 the base. Oh, if we go back up here, we apply the same rules that we did at the top. On a parallelogram, we know that opposite sides have equal length. So this would be 6 meters. And this opposite side also, when we put in our right triangle, would have a length of 4, a height of 4. So our base is 6. Our height is 4. So area is equal to 1/2 times 24. And 1 times 24 is 24. 2 times 1 is 2. So my area is 12 meters cubed. Now if we go ahead and do triangle, this time we're going to do B, C, D, our area. And we should already know that before we even do the computation, that since they're congruent, that means they should turn out to be exactly the same area because they're equal. So 1/2 the base times the height. So 1/2, my base on BCD is 6. My height is 4. So I have area is 1/2 times 24. 1 times 24 is 24. 2 times 1 is 2. So my area is 12 meters squared, which we knew they should have been the same because they're congruent triangles. And if I go ahead and add these two together, when I add my two areas together, we have area of triangle ABC was 12 meters, plus my area of the second triangle BCD, which was 12 meters squared. That gave us 24 meters squared as my total area, which is the same thing we found in part A, 24 meters squared. Okay, so that was decomposing, meaning breaking apart the larger figure into two smaller figures. All right, let's go on to question number 3. Example number 3. Example number 3 says, again, we're going to be using decomposition, which means we're going to be breaking apart this larger figure into two smaller figures. So we move this down. It says, decomposing trapezoids. The trapezoid below is a scale drawing of a garden plot. They want us to find the area of both triangle ABC and ACD, and then find the area of the trapezoid. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do to decompose this trapezoid into two triangles is we're going to draw the diagonal from A to C. And again, this diagonal cuts the trapezoid into two triangles. Because it cuts it into two triangles, now it can find the area for each one. So I have triangle A, B, C, and I also have triangle A, C, D. Those are my two triangles. So now we can go ahead and find our area. Let's figure out the triangle ABC first. So the formula for finding the area of a triangle, again, is 1/2 the base times the height. So the area is 1/2. Since we are doing this triangle here in orange, our base is 8 and our height is 5. So area is equal to 1/2 times 40, and 1 times 40 is 40, and 2 times 1 is 2. So if I divide 2 into 40, 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 0 0 times. So our area is 20 meters squared. Now let's go next and find our area for triangle ACD. And we're going to use the same formula. Our formula is 1/2 the base times the height. So if we go to A, C, and D, this time our base is 4, but our height, since they come down to the same base, is exactly the same. The height is 5. So our area is 1/2 times 20. 1 times 20 is 20. 2 times 1 is 2. So our area is 10 meters squared. And when I go ahead and add these together to find my total area, I would have area, my total area is the 20 meters plus my 10 meters squared. 20 plus 10 is 30 meters squared. So my total area for this trapezoid is 30 meters squared. Okay, now if we go on to letter B. Now they want us to find the area of both triangles, but this time we're putting our diagonal on B and D. So if I were to just quickly do a rough copy of the picture, we have A, B, C, and D. And don't forget our height here was 5. And this was 8 meters, and this was 4 meters. This time, instead of putting a diagonal from A to C, we are going to draw our diagonal from B to D. Okay, so we're going to go from B to D. So again, just like in the first part, by using that diagonal, we made 2 triangles. So we just did the same thing here. We just made 2 triangles. Our 2 triangles that we have now are A, B, D. And our second triangle is B, C, and D. So those are our 2 triangles. We're going to find the area of each one. So let's do triangle A, B, D. Our formula is 1/2 the base times the height. So our area is 1/2. Our base here is 8. Our height is 5. So area is equal to 1/2 times 40. So the area is 1/2. And if I divide here, this would be 40 over 2. So my area is 20 meters squared. And if I go ahead and do the second one, the second one is triangle B, C, D. And our area is 1/2 the base times the height. So B, C, D. Our area is 1/2. The base here is 4. And my height is 5. So area is 1/2 times 20. 1 times 20 is 20 over 2. And 20 divided by 2 is 10 meters squared. 10 meters squared. So now what we need to do to find the total area is add the 2 triangles together. When I add those 2 together, I have my total area is 20 meters plus 10 meters, which is equal to 30 meters squared, which is the same thing we got when we did the triangles using the diagonal AC. And here I use the diagonals B and D. You'll notice that we ended up with exactly the same area for both. Okay, that was using decomposition to find the area of a large polygon. I hope this helped you. Thanks for listening. Bye.